Hi friends, and welcome back to my 30-second YouTube video on my YouTube channel. Yay! I am Hawkinsimmer, and today we are doing what I am calling the Honeymoon Hideaway build. So, if you don't know, I recently got married, so fancy, in September, and we did go on a vacation to Boston because we'd both never been there. And it was great, and we went to Salem because witchy things, heck yes, and we went to Maine. It was awesome. It was exhausting, and it was kind of our mini vacation, quote unquote. It was still a full-blown vacation, don't get me wrong, but we wanted to take a tropical vacation. But if you don't know, hurricane season is September, October time, so we wanted to save our tropical vacation until the spring when the weather is typically nicer. So we are leaving for this vacation in like 2 days. When you're seeing this, we fly out on Saturday morning. I am so excited, so excited. So this build is kind of inspired by just like tropical vacation spot, because it can't be specific because I don't know where we're going. It's a surprise. My husband is planning it, or he has planned it. It was kind of one of those things I was like, man, I'm planning a lot of the wedding stuff, and I didn't want all of his questions about vacation stuff, so I was like, honestly, just plan it, and I'll be good with it when we get there. I want it to be a beach. And that was more or less the only requirements. But I am just, hypothesizing. I know it isn't going to be like a bungalow thing like this. I know it's like a resort, but I don't know, I just thought it would be fun if I made a little kind of like romantic bungalow situation. So this is it. So this is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath studio home, and it is a tier 3 or a small home on the tiny living scale, so you get tons of perks for living here. And while it's really only one big room with some partitions and a separate bathroom, it actually seems pretty spacious, and there's a lot in it. I didn't put a computer in it because, like I said, this was supposed to be more of like a vacation style situation. But in The Sims, you can't just make any lot a vacation lot. You have to go to a specific world to vacation. But that was the idea, so I didn't really think it was necessary to put a desk or a computer down. But otherwise, this lot has everything you really need. And I've done one other island living build, and I'm super proud of it. It's super fun and glittery, and I love that build, so I'll link that in the eye above. Be sure to watch that because it's a super cool build. And I think the hardest part about building in Sulani is doing landscaping, or particularly to my style of landscaping. I like very dense and like lush landscaping, which doesn't really fit kind of island living. But I think I did an okay job on this side that you're seeing with the beach chairs. I wanted it to look like the space between like residential or commercial and then the beach, if you know what I mean. I'm not from California. I'm from the Midwest, so I've never been to California. I've only ever been to like East Coast beaches, so maybe this doesn't apply everywhere, but basically every beach in Florida or in the area, there's like, resorts or hotels or residentials, and then there's like a section of beach that is like protected to like maintain wildlife and stuff. I don't know if that's everywhere, so maybe this is stupid to explain, but maybe it isn't. So I wanted it to look kind of like that area where it's just like grassy and dunes kinda. I didn't want it to seem super flush, so that was an explanation that didn't need to be had, but it's fine. We're moving on to the interior now. I didn't do tons of outside stuff, but there's tons of room to do outside stuff if you wanted to put down a fire pit or a swing set or whatever. But again, I was thinking more resort-like, where you probably wouldn't have those amenities. But like I said, we're moving on to the inside. This is the little galley kitchen area. I love a galley kitchen. Not in real life. I don't think I would ever want one. But in The Sims, I love a galley kitchen. And I like them in other people's homes. I think they're, fun, pretty. But it was a pretty small area, so I moved on rather quickly to the living area. Again, I used quite a few tiny living items just because they work for small spaces. So the couch is super cute. The entertainment center is a TV and a bookshelf and a radio, so it totally works for something like this. So yeah, it worked in this situation. And I love those partitions. I've used them before. I think they really work and separate the room just enough, because usually if you're staying at a resort or, you know, a hotel, you aren't usually staying, most people aren't staying in a suite, right? So it would typically be one big room with a TV and usually not a kitchenette, not a living area, but again, romantic getaway type situation, so I wanted to be kind of all out. But yeah, I think it turned out really well. I really ended up liking the layout. I originally had some diagonal walls and wanted to do like more of a hut type roof. I made a hand gesture, but you can't see it, with like an octagonal roofing, but I am so bad at those. I need to watch more tutorials because I'm not great at it. I also loved putting in that little coffee pot with the coffee mugs, because if you're staying at an Airbnb and they aren't providing a coffee maker of some kind, Keurig, whatever, and coffee, wrong for that. There should always be caffeine involved. Every Airbnb I've stayed at has had the option, so I'm just saying, everyone should. It should all be there, right? Am I right? Are you an Airbnb person? Or are you like one of those people that doesn't trust Airbnb? I love Airbnb. My husband and I, every vacation we've been on, we've stayed in an Airbnb. We're actually going to stay in one on this vacation for the first night. We wanted to get there earlier than what we could get into the resort, so we're staying at an Airbnb, which is fun because you get to like pay into local people. I'm really about that when you're going to these countries and, staying there, usually at an American-owned resort. It's important, I think, to give back to the community, or at least buy into their economy a little bit. So, shop local, buy local, stay local kind of a thing. So I'm really excited to stay at an Airbnb abroad, basically. And that's another thing. I don't know where we're going, but I know that it's abroad because I had to get a passport, and they're expensive. And if I got one for no reason, I'll be upset. Yes, I have never left the country. Once. I went to Canada once. But I was like 10, and even then it was more lenient to go over the border to Canada, just like to the falls area. You didn't have to have a passport as a child. Did I say I was like 10? That was a lie. I was like 14, 15, but still it was in like 2010. Maybe that's what I said, because that's what I meant. So the laws were a little different than they are now, I think. So I've never needed a passport. Anyway, that's my personal life. Back to this build. We're moving on to the outside. And yeah, I really like this patio area. I think I got everything in that, you would really want. There were beach chairs on the beach. So there weren't really a reason to have any on this deck. Added a fence to that one side because otherwise I felt like I can just picture myself like scooting my chair back and falling into the ocean and then like being eaten by a shark or something, And here I'm just adding some rose petals to make it a little bit more romantic. I never use those, but I don't know, I wanted to give it a go for this. But the screenshots are coming up, so thank you all so much for watching. There won't be any videos next week because I'll be on vacation, but I'll see you in a week. So thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye! So much to my husband for planning a vacation for us. I love you so much.